everyone, hello from the train. I am on my way up to Manchester to go and see a new clinic that's being opened by Dr. Paul Nassif. Now, he is a very famous Beverly Hills plastic surgeon. You may know him from the TV program Botched, and he's opening a non-surgical clinic, injectables and the like, up in Manchester. So I'm going to go and see what that's all about, go and interview him. So come along with me and catch up and see what he says. Dr. Nassif, what an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you
here
too.
in the UK.
First time in Manchester.
And you're looking very well. You just come back from honeymoon, haven't
That's
you?
right. Very well rested.
Really straight from
Greece.
Greece.
As a matter of fact, cut the honeymoon short a day. So Brittany and I are here, with our new spa with our partner Amanda Richardson.
Fantastic.
So this is
We're
it.
going to
And the weather was
a bit later.
Yeah, and remember the weather. I was in Greece. Weather was beautiful and hot. Now we're a little bit of different weather.
It's definitely autumn
It's
here,
okay.
isn't it?
I'm ready for it.
But now, Manchester. Why Manchester? Why did you come to Manchester for your med spa?
Well, it really is because of Amanda.
Okay.
And Amanda was actually my patient from the UK. And I'll let her talk about what type of patient she was. And
I was wondering if it would be indelicate to ask.
No, she'll talk about it.
Sure.
And she, we were having one of our post-ops, and she says, you know what, there's a part of, actually the UK overall, there's a lot of med spas everywhere. A lot of injectables, a lot of Botox, a lot of procedures, but it's not that regulated.
Yes.
And there's complications, just like everywhere else, especially being on Botched.
Yes.
We talk about complications. So she said, you know what, I would love to partner up with you and open up a Nassif, because we have Nassif Medspa in Beverly Hills. And this would be, the UK now is going to be our second destination. And the first one's here in Manchester, and then the other one's going to follow, hopefully in London next.
Okay.
And
on my Instagram, everybody was saying this morning, why not London? When is he going to London? But I think you'll have a very keen audience up here.
Well, we're going to start here first because, and with Amanda being our partner, the thing is we wanted to make sure that the quality of the injectors, and when we have two great doctor injectors, Dr. Harris and Dr. Jane, starting off, and then we have an incredible esthetician. And so we want to make sure that the level of care is as safe as it could be.
That's so good to hear, because the regulations here are, well, there aren't really any around injectables. Obviously, toxins are prescription medicines, so they can only be injected by people without prescribing qualification. But fillers, anybody can get hold of them. So
and that's what's dangerous, is fillers.
It's absolutely terrifying, and there's such a huge appetite for procedures in this area, for all the Tweakments, as I like to call them.
Yes.
That I feel you'll get a lot of attention and a very keen new client base. So it's really good to hear. I wanted to ask you how you're going to make sure that the people who are injecting in your name are doing a really good job.
Well, one thing that we did is, we searched out for what we felt were incredible, excellent, safe, and natural result providers. And that's where Dr. Harris and Dr. Jane came in.
Fantastic.
As a matter of fact,
really good. I know.
I was looking at some of the before and afters today from Dr. Harris, and his work is astounding, especially his lips.
It is fantastic.
He does beautiful work.
He does. So, and again, he's going to be training some of your other estheticians up
Absolutely. He's going to actually, open up to other injectors there, help train the technique. But again, our goal is, we're in Manchester, and we would love to have, a lot of the folks stop by. And when skincare is very important, so we have Nassif MD Dermaceuticals.
Yes, now we've got to talk about this.
And all the lasers and all the toxins, everything.
So what you're offering here, you're going to do toxins, injectables, and skin peels. Is that right to start with?
There'll be skin peels, and we'll start off later on with the hydrofacial. Then there's going to be a great. There's already some body contouring and facial lasers here for tightening and tone, and that will just keep increasing that as we start, since we're just opening. And of course, skincare. Yes,
right. Come on, tell me about skincare. This is your new range, which launched a couple of months ago.
Well, no, this is a new product which is launched. This is a quick fix wrinkle reducing serum. This is something for spot So what you do with that is, besides the long-term benefits of the vitamin C and the antioxidants, with this product, what there is you put this on for about 30 seconds. So the quick fix, with the instant results, it helps tighten, it helps with the little fullness in the lower eyelid and around this area of the wrinkles. So you get a little tightening and softens the area before you go out.
Just pop that on right now. I've been on a plane most of the weekend, so it's I'm feeling a bit
and this is my best, this is my hydroscreen, which is my microspheres of hyaluronic acid, which is incredible. This you could actually put on top. It's a hydrate.
Okay, so it'll get through.
You put on top of everything else you're using. So for example, this is our detox pads, which are exfoliating. In addition, it takes off makeup 108% better than soap and water.
Is it a good idea to take off makeup with alpha hydroxy acid?
This one, the way we balanced it, it's incredible. I do it.
Right, and it's alpha hydroxy acid
and beta and salicylic and lactic, everything.
Yeah.
So this you use every night.
Okay.
Then we have a cleanser in the day. This is our smart cream for the day. This is only a few of the we have just like a few
schemes. Yeah, I wanted to ask what your top three were. We've got top four. So
the top two are these two. This is the top two.
Okay.
And we have a quick fix face and neck lift product too, which has long-term benefits. We have this is around the eyes. This is the Dermaflex Smart Cream, and this has a patent called UVCE, which basically is a way. Which is interesting about this. The Dermaflex means when you're exposed to UV rays, the little vesicles of vitamin C are released. Okay. So you use it not something like
protection.
So when you're outside.
Yeah.
So that's absolutely incredible for you. We have all kinds of products.
Okay.
But that's just a few to show you.
The other key thing I wanted to ask you was why a non-surgical clinic? Because you are a very famous surgeon, you're known for Botched and all the revision work you do on noses. So why is non-surgical your thing now?
Well, remember, we have a med spa like this, non-surgical in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And our goal is to, well, remember, in preparation, the goal is to prevent surgery. Okay. Matter of fact, in 10 more years, I'll bet you, there's going to be enough of the technology from the body contouring and the muscle contouring and the face tightening and the body tightening that I assume that surgery will become less and less. Not with the nose, obviously.
Are you already seeing surgical numbers falling in the States? Because some of the surgeons here report that, but I think they also still seem to be really busy.
Well, I mean, they are very busy still, but again, that's our goal is one, we want to get everyone, skincare is for everybody.
Skincare first, that's like
everybody.
Yeah. No, what do you call it? No compromise. You have to protect your skin.
And then two is, as the younger you are, and the things if you start eating, we want to try to get more of the minimally invasive procedures or non-invasive procedures first.
Yes.
Now, as time goes on, right now the technology isn't that good enough yet where you actually don't need a facelift or an eyebrow lift or an eyelid lift.
Yeah,
and so that's still going to happen.
It's working against you, yeah.
And so that's still happening, but again, our goal is to stall and slow down everything.
Fantastic.
And even if you do want to have that, because I'm a facial plastic surgeon, I just don't do noses. I do all the face surgery, beautiful facelifts and everything.
But I just know rhinoplasty is your specialty, isn't it?
Well, that's what I'm famous for, because I do the hardest noses in the world. And again, with Botched, we show a lot of the complications. And so non-invasive is still always a great way to start.
Yes.
And then even if you did want surgery, you can come here and they can help set up appointments and Skypes, because we have a lot of UK patients that do come to California. A lot.
Wow. That was another question I was getting this morning. Do you need any volunteers for this? But I think people need to book in on a proper basis rather than they want to know if you'll bring Botched to the UK as well.
Probably, I think there is some type of program out here. It's not ours.
There's an equivalent.
But we're busy enough in the United States, and plus we're in 155 countries.
Oh,
yeah, and we have a lot of UK patients on Botched. Every year we have UK people.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to ask about is you said selfie dysmorphia, that we all have selfie dysmorphia now. I saw you saying that recently. Which, can you talk about that a bit? I think I know what you mean, because we're all taking so many more pictures of ourselves and being more critical of them. Is this what's driving non-surgical business, in your view?
I'm going to say yes in a positive and a negative way.
Okay.
So before, patients would bring in photos of other celebrities and say, do this.
Yes.
Now what they're doing is the selfie dysmorphia is they're taking, filters is fine.
Yeah, yeah.
So if they want to make their skin look, filter perfect, then you start with skincare. Great.
Yeah.
Okay? But
Up to
a point when they start morphing with the face apps and they change their nose and the way their lips look too much, then they might be overdoing it. And that's where the dysmorphia comes in. The self-image isn't that great. And then they'll go into a doctor's office and say, can you do this for me?
Yeah.
So it's a filtered or morphed version of themselves, which maybe doesn't look good. And some doctors will do it.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to be careful.
From all the doctors I work with over here, they see all these kids come in and say, I don't look like this anymore. This was 6 months ago. Doctor looks at it and says, you never look like this. This is
It's
an
fake.
altered image.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really difficult. But the good aspect of it, would you say, is that because we're taking more care of ourselves?
I think when you use a gentle filter, basically we say that, listen, you protect your skin. Don't smoke. A lot of people smoke out here.
Yes.
Drink a lot of fluids. Be careful, wear good sunscreen. More importantly, take care of your skin with exfoliation and hydration. And almost in most of my products, there's a hydrator.
Yeah.
And now we have a new crepe inhibitor. We have all kinds of products.
I love that. That's a body product, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crepe inhibitor. I mean, that's what we all want.
And it's all about hydration too.
Stop the crepiness. Okay. I wanted to ask about the patient group that you think you're going to get around here. I mean, have you any idea who they're going to be? Because what I would expect is you're going to get all the Real Housewives of Cheshire and that set piling in to see you. Have you had any approaches from them yet?
I know Amanda has, and we have our opening, as a matter of fact, tonight.
Yes,
and I know that she has some of them, a few of them are coming. And I think the type of clientele that the Nassif Medspa in the UK is going to generate is hopefully patients that are educated well enough to have safe but nice results, natural results.
That makes me
That's
really
what we want to
happy
try to do. Not blowing up your lips with 3 or 4 syringes.
The trouble is, so many people in this country are hugely curious about these procedures. I think there was a survey last year from Mintel, and they said that 43% of UK adults would be interested in a non-surgical procedure, which was huge, because traditionally the UK has been really cautious about procedures of any sort. I mean, I don't know how that compares to the States, because we always seem to be following on a bit more slowly in the wake of the States.
Yeah, I mean obviously there's a lot of surgery in the States. And basically if the UK patient can do something that makes themselves look and feel good with minimal risk and minimal downtime, that's the way to start.
Fantastic. And I think that there's a great importance to talking about what this is, which is what I'm trying to do on my platforms, because there's still here a lot of that stigma and uncertainty around it, less in this neck of the woods, but if you go down to the southwest of the country, and talk about these things at all, because you're very good and open about talking about these things. I saw that there was an Instagram work done where you were having a spot of Botox at a wedding, and there you are chatting about it, which is fact, because we just need to open up this conversation, don't we? Is that changing over in the States? Because it's being so slow over here.
Well, everyone now talks about it. Everyone talks about it. I mean, there's no problem, especially, now listen, other parts of the country in the United States don't talk about it.
But on the coast.
But on the coast, usually, or even Miami, for example, in certain parts, they're very open about it.
Yes, yes.
I mean, for example, being a surgical patient is something that no one wants to talk about, especially out here.
Yes.
But for example, Amanda and I were talking about this before, and again, she was a surgical patient of mine.
Yeah.
And so for her to come out and talk about her experience and why she did it, and then why she came up with, listen, I wasn't afraid. I mean, in the beginning I probably was, and what she went through, and then she basically said that, listen, I want to make sure other people are educated properly, and opening up a Nassif Medspa, which, yes, can dovetail into surgery in the United States from our clinic, but also things to do to take care of yourself. This was a great way to go.
Because I find some people sitting in my audience, they tend to think they've done nothing, and they think they have to dive in right at the deep end. and I'm always trying to tell them, first there's skincare, then there's all these treatments, learn what's out there, and then maybe, so you've got to see this as a progression. And you look after yourself in all ways, don't you? I mean, you do a lot of training as well. You're in that gym early in the morning.
Yeah, 5:30 or so. I try to do it before going into surgery to go see patients. Work out.
Yeah.
I do some intermittent fasting. I eat 8 hours a day most of the days.
Yes,
except for this holiday. Mm-hmm. And then I use my skincare products.
Yeah, and you stay out of the sun more than not, or you get moderate?
Except for this week.
Yeah. But I mean, you're only very lightly tanned for someone who's been in the Greek islands.
Yeah, that's right. But, I'm already feeling on, but you're right.
You've got to walk the talk, haven't you? Well, thank you so much. It's been fantastic talking to you.
Thank you.
And I hope it all goes very well. And get a med spa down in London too.
We will. That's right. We'll get Amanda in here right now, and she'll talk to you about her experience and why she did this.
Yeah. But it is good, because I get a lot of flak in my inbox, sort of people saying, why are you always talking about Harley Street? Most of us live out here in the real world. You think, well, here you go. Here's the med spa. Come on in and see. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
So I'm heading home from Manchester now, and I don't know quite what I'd expected, but maybe I thought Dr Nassif would be more of an exuberant showman type character than the thoughtful chap I met there. I hope you liked that interview. I thought it was really interesting what he was saying, and also because I was quite concerned about how he's going to maintain the quality of the treatments when he's not actually there overseeing the practitioners himself. But up there today there was Steve Harris and Jane Leonard, who are both brilliant injectors who work. Steve's in London, Jane's in Manchester, and also in London and in Hale at Martin Kinsella's clinic. And they are going to be overseeing the training of the practitioners who are working at the Nassif Medspa. So that for me is a reassurance that there are going to be some very good treatments available there, and that you can trust the quality of the practitioners. So I hope you liked that video, and let me know what you think.